How did one email destroy your relationship with your entire command team? Simple. I told the truth and I accidentally sent it to everyone who'd been lying. I was a captain at Fort Bragg, serving as operations officer for a mechanized infantry battalion. My job was coordinating training exercises and filing after-action reports. Standard stuff. I'd been doing it for 18 months without incident. The exercise that ended everything was supposed to be routine. A live-fire convoy operation through simulated hostile territory. 12 vehicles, 80 soldiers, straightforward mission profile, except nothing went according to plan. 3 Humvees broke down before we even left the gate. Radio systems failed within the first hour. Night vision equipment that was supposed to be fully operational turned out to be partially functional at best. Half the squad leaders were working with outdated maps because someone forgot to distribute the new tactical overlays. But we pushed through. Soldiers always do. We improvised, adapted, completed the objectives. Nobody got hurt, so command called it a success. 2 days later, I sat in my cramped office that smelled like old paint and burnt coffee, typing my after-action report. I was thorough. That was my reputation. Listed every equipment failure, every communication breakdown, every moment where inadequate preparation put soldiers at risk. Under recommendations, I wrote what everyone already knew. Unit requires immediate equipment upgrades and comprehensive maintenance overhaul before next deployment cycle. Current readiness levels are unacceptable for combat operations. I addressed the email to my immediate supervisor, Lieutenant Colonel Brennan. Hit send at 17:43 on a Friday. Went home, cracked open a beer, figured it would get filed away with all the other reports nobody reads. Monday morning, I walked into the battalion headquarters and felt it immediately. The air was different. Eyes tracked me as I moved through the hallways. Nobody made eye contact. Major Quincy from S3 pulled me aside in the corridor. His face was pale. "Wade, what the hell did you do?" My stomach dropped. "What are you talking about?" "Your report, the one you sent Friday. You didn't just send it to Brennan." That's when I learned about the CC field I'd apparently fat-fingered while typing. My brutally honest assessment of our unit's failures had gone to Lieutenant Colonel Brennan, Colonel Rutherford, the brigade commander, General Blackwood, a division, and somehow the entire battalion leadership group, every company commander, every staff officer, every senior NCO in the organization. Oh, and the Inspector General's office, because Brennan had been BCC'd on a separate email thread I didn't know about. Turns out command had been covering up equipment failures for months, falsifying readiness reports to avoid losing funding, claiming successful exercises when actual performance was marginal. My accidental mass email exposed everything in objective, documented detail. The colonel called me into his office at 0900. I could feel my pulse in my throat. The room smelled like furniture polish and old cigars. "Captain Wade," he said, his voice ice cold. "Your report demonstrates a concerning lack of understanding regarding operational realities and command discretion." I stood at attention, watching my career evaporate. "Sir, I only reported factual observations from the exercise. Your observations undermine this battalion's reputation across the entire division. You've embarrassed me personally and damaged trust with our brigade leadership." What he didn't say, I'd made it impossible for him to keep lying about readiness. The next 3 weeks were hell. Suddenly, every task I submitted needed additional review. I got excluded from planning meetings. Other officers stopped inviting me to lunch. I'd become a pariah for being honest about problems everyone already knew existed. Then the Inspector General launched a full investigation. Took them 6 weeks to interview everyone, review maintenance logs, audit readiness reports. Found systematic falsification of equipment status dating back 2 years. Discovered that maintenance funding had been redirected to pet projects. Uncovered that soldiers had been conducting combat exercises with equipment that failed safety inspections. Colonel Rutherford was relieved of command. Lieutenant Colonel Brennan was reassigned to a desk job in Alaska. 2 senior NCOs in the motor pool lost their positions for signing off on false maintenance records. Meanwhile, I got promoted to major ahead of schedule. The Inspector General personally thanked me for my integrity. Brigade called my report a model of honest professional assessment. But here's the twist nobody expected. 3 months after the investigation closed, I got orders to transfer to the Inspector General's office itself. They wanted me to teach other officers how to write honest evaluations without fear of retaliation. Turns out, accidentally exposing corruption is an excellent career move. I spent the next 4 years investigating other units, finding similar problems, protecting soldiers whose leadership had been lying about readiness, and I never sent another email without triple-checking the recipient list.